4. Starting and ending game. Section 1. Starting a game. Article 1. The home coach shall decide whether the grounds and other conditions are suitable for starting the game. After the game starts, the umpires are sole judges as to whether conditions are fit to play and that as to whether or not the conditions are suitable for starting the second game of a scheduled doubleheader. Article 2. If there are unusual conditions such as spectators or obstacles too near the playing field, the home coach shall propose special ground rules. If sanctioned by the visiting team, these shall be in force. If the teams cannot agree, the umpires shall formulate ground rules. Ground rules do not supersede a rules book rule. All special rules shall be announced. A. The field should be clearly marked. Marking should include poles along the foul lines at least 210 feet past first and third and vertical foul line markings on any wall that limits the outfield. B. When a fair or foul fly comes down near a stand or fence, 741D applies. If there is a screen behind the catcher or other permanent obstruction in front of the stand, a batted ball that goes behind these becomes dead and cannot be caught. It is recommended that no such obstruction be less than 50 feet from the diamond. Wild pitches, overthrows, and batted balls that go over, through, or wedges in a fence are governed by Rule 833. If the field has unusual obstructions, ground rules should, as nearly as possible, be similar to this rule. D. For a special field condition, such as a drain pipe that makes a spot where it is impossible or very difficult for a fielder to retrieve the ball should become dead if it goes into that spot, and each runner's advance should be limited to 2 bases. E. In an unfenced field where cars are parked along the foul lines, umpires should consider these the same as the bleachers, and the ball becomes dead if it bounces into a line of cars. They should anticipate such a situation and announce the ground rules in advance. Article 3. Before game time, the home team and then the visiting team shall deliver their respective batting orders in duplicate to the umpire-in-chief. The umpire then shall permit inspection by both head coaches and or captains if available. Each team's lineup card shall list a minimum of 9 players to start the game. See 441F for game to continue with less than 9 players. The substitution regulations, as in Rule 3, are then in effect. A. The umpire-in-chief shall emphasize to both head coaches and captains that all participants are expected to exhibit good sporting behavior throughout the games. B. Prior to the start of the game, the umpire-in-chief shall receive verification from each head coach that his participants are properly equipped in accordance with NFHS rules. In addition, each coach shall verify that his participants are using only legal equipment, including bats and balls that are unaltered from the manufacturer's original design and production and that meet the provisions of 131 and 132, and helmets that meet the provisions of 151 and are free of cracks and damage. Penalty: on the first violation of 413B, entering the box with an illegal bat, the penalty for an illegal bat is applied, 741A, and the head coach shall be restricted to the bench dugout for the remainder of the game. On the second violation for entering the box with an illegal bat, the penalty for an illegal bat is applied and the head coach should be ejected. On subsequent violations for entering the box with an illegal bat, the penalty for an illegal bat is applied and the designated head coach shall be ejected. On detected violations of 413B for the use of a damaged helmet, the helmet shall be immediately removed from play. Article 4. The visiting team shall be the first to take its turn at bat on a neutral field, or by agreement, either team may be designated as home team. Article 5. The game begins when the umpire calls play after all fielders, pitcher, catcher, and batter are in position to start the game. Section 2. Ending a regulation game. Article 1. A regulation interscholastic game consists of 7 innings, unless extra innings are necessary because of a tie score, or unless shortened because the home team needs none of its half of the 7th, or only a fraction of it, or because of weather or darkness. Each team must have 9 players in its lineup throughout the game. Otherwise, the game will be forfeited. A forfeited game is regulation regardless of innings played. Article 2. The game ends when the team behind in score has completed its turn at bat in the 7th inning, or any inning thereafter if extra innings are necessary. If the home team scores a go-ahead run in the bottom of the 7th inning, or in any extra inning, the game is terminated at that point. Any game that is tied at the end of 4.5 or at least 5 full innings when the game is called shall be a time game, unless the state association has adopted a specific game-ending procedure. Batting and fielding records are counted, but the game is not counted in the computing percentages of games won and lost. By state association adoption, the game shall end when the visiting team is behind 10 or more runs after 4.5 innings, or after the 5th inning if either team is 10 runs behind and both teams have had an equal number of turns at bats. A. If an over-the-fence home run is hit, all runs score before the game is terminated. B. 2 7-inning games shall constitute a doubleheader.